They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Another day in the USA. Just another day in America. Kids from my hood look up to the system set us up for failure. I just wanna make enough to pay dividends, then invest in black businesses. They teach us to hate what we see in the mirror, but it can't break our spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I woke up and I'm feeling like a...
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. This is Coleman. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Shorty. On the ball.
On play action, Wentz. They try to get it to his tight end, Rodgers, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now the first carry for Wendell Smallwood. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Wentz. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Taking it about the 16. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Lucy.
On second down, here's Fournette. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. To throw is Bortles. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian Jenkins. And that'll bring up second down. This secondary, Charles, much maligned during the week. They didn't have their best game in the loss last week, but a nice play there.
Yeah, and I just know what they went through last week. I mean, ever since that time, their pride was hurt. They kept getting reminded of it in the local media, had to watch it on tape, and, you know, the coaches just got after them. They came in ready to play.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Here we go. Lucy. 372.
From the gun, it's Bortles. Over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On first down, Bortles going to throw deep for the end zone. In for the score. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know the receivers love to say, if we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did, all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
Lambo to add on the extra point. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Wentz to throw on second down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Marcel Darius in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. From the gun, it's Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a 3rd-day selection. Anyone after the 4th round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
Lucy. Green 80.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Let's go. 77.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. The pitch to Fournette. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And it's now 21-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs.
Go.
Coleman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Hang in there now.
First down, a run with Smallwood. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Hang in there. Hang in there now.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Well, not good at all. A punt of just 24 yards there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
76, 76.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Pretty move. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
I know a lot of coaches like the toss play because they think it can be a real momentum shifter. Get the ball to that back who can get to the corner and turn it upfield. And on this play, that's exactly what they got, including a 1st down.
Hey, 5-0, 5-0. 5-0. Nice finish. Here we go.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Hank. Show left.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Cole. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Safarian Jenkins has it. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Check. Nice 39, Lucy.
Bortles will keep it.
We often hear analysts talk about a quarterback's wingspan, almost like a forward in basketball. But here's where it pays to have a long reach. They find a slight opening and are able to stick the ball forward to pick up 1st downs.
They'll toss it to Fournette. A little juke. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Lucy. 11.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this.
Punch right. Check. 380. Lucy.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Here we go. All good. Check.
Bortles now on first down. Open man right side is Sharp. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A toss running left, Fournette. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Hey, 54, Ricky.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. This is caught, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. His second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
They'll toss it to Coleman. Oh, he did it again. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the time
one
we have to leave the booth.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now he's going to throw deep back. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars continue to roll. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guys covering take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by them. And once he's by them, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Wentz now to throw. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
The Eagles on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Great. 81.
To throw is Wentz. They'll roll him out right. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Come on now. Let's go.
Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Lion. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They've been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. They begin with a run by Fournette. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
Lucy.
On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Bortles to Cole for the Jacksonville 1st.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
7-2. Set. Green 80. So right, so right. Green is it.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. Over the middle, complete. That's Cole. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
You. Hey, move. Green is it.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Bortles. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. Past the 20. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Austin Safarian Jenkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are pouring it on. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard. Line.
Lucky 56.
A first throw for the backup, Jackson. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Play action. Now Jackson sliding out of the pocket. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Calais Campbell able to get him for a loss of about 3. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble.
And trying to get it to his tight end, Rodgers, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Bortles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Oh, able to avoid it. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that will extend this big lead. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Coleman now. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. Now Jackson. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
No. Check. Patriot.
Here's Jackson to throw. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Completes it to Aguilar. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rush will just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Miles Jack able to run him down for a loss of a yard. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now Leonard Fournette, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Lucy.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. How good has he been throwing the football, though? Despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot. And it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football, and it leads to more completions for them.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for that one.
Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Punch right. 372. 380. 380.
From the gun, it's Bortles. Throw left side complete. It's Cole. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
When you see zone defense and you know you got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he's got room. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
Hey, 54, Ricky.
They'll run it again with Fournette. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
And, Brandon, this is where it pays to have a big back who can take over a football game, especially in the 4th quarter when you've got the lead, your ability to not just wear people down, but close games out.
Let's go. 77.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Ooh, the juke. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Lucy.
Bortles going to look to throw. Buying time to his left. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Jaguars on third down. They have been superb, 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. To throw, it's Bortles. That's complete, right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Lambo will put this one through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
That's caught by the big tight end. Dallas got him. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Steps away. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson. He's got a tackle all over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. One last shot for Jackson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Jags, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10.